Hello everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This is Nurhana Ibrahim, the founder of Ibn Nafis Institute for Social and Scientific Studies, as well as Women's Research. I'm Jordan. Today we're going to talk about the hijab, the veil, or the niqab. It's very important because recently the French Senate has voted against the wearing of hijab for girls under 18 and not allowing mothers who wear hijab to accompany their kids on school trips, etc., as well as Austria imposing no niqab, the covering of the face, and other attires for the Muslim woman in that country. This is indeed a violation of human rights and also religious rights. The veil, the cover for the Muslim woman, which is much debated even among Muslims and non-Muslims worldwide, and is said to be an affront to women's freedom. And in fact, the Muslim women themselves say that it is a self-choice, but this is not the case, as it is obligatory for all Muslim women reaching puberty to cover from head to toe and to abide by it. Many misconceptions were taught about it, and we like to clarify the matter in terms of the Quran and the hadith and the perception, as well as the scientific and society statistic and figures to reinforce the great value of covering for the woman. For both, it is a great thing for both the Muslims and non-Muslims worldwide. As the Quran states in Surah An-Nisa, ayat 31 and 32, وَقُلْ لِلْمُؤْمِنَاتِ يَغْضُضْنَ مِنْ أَبْصَارِهِنَّ وَيَحْفَظْنَ فُرُوجَهُنَّ وَلَا يُبْدِينَ زِينَتَهُنَّ إِلَّا مَا ظَهَرَ مِنْهَا وَلْيَضْرِبْنَ بِخُمُرِهِنَّ عَلَى جُيُوبِهِنَّ وَلَا يُبْدِينَ زينتهن إلا لبؤولتهن أو آبائهن أو آباء بؤولتهن. And it goes on to describe here, as stated, and tell the believing woman to lower their gaze from looking at forbidden things and to protect their private part from illegal sexual acts and not to display their beauty and ornaments except what most ordinarily appear. In other words, it is obligatory and no one can say that it's self-choice and they have to do it. Basically, this rule given by Islam is due to two reasons. One is to protect the woman, to protect the society, in fact, from the allurement of the woman, and two, to protect the woman from the luring eyes or the evil of men. So it works both ways, that they have to cover is for society and for their own self-protection. So as we say here, Islam is not merely a theological religion. It's a way of life for those who practice it, and Islam cares for the well-being of the individual as well as society. The veil is a clear example of what we are saying, as we have said earlier that women have to cover and not to show off their adornment except only which is apparent. In fact, the Prophet Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when a woman reaches puberty, she should not expose any part of body to foreign men except her face and palm. And also he warned women from revealing their beauty to foreign men, saying that two kinds of the people of my nation, I haven't seen them: men carrying whips like the tail of oxes, which they used to whip people with, and women who dress in a way that makes them to appear like naked women. And this kind of people will not enter paradise or even smell its scent. So as said here, Islam cares very much for the purity of the society which cannot be achieved when women move around revealing their beauties, attracting people to their exposed flesh. That's why it is strictly prohibited for women to reveal their beauty and to behave in a non-modest manner. Their punishment is very severe in the hereafter. Moreover, it is the duty of the Islamic State to prevent women from revealing their beauty and punish those who deviate from the dress code. Many people, they questions and they say that how could a woman be forced to wear such an ugly, hot, suffocating thing like the burqa, the hijab, the niqab. Well, it's not really that suffocating or bad. First, as Muslims, we women say that we are not forced to be attired as such. We do it because we believe in Allah and we follow His command. Secondly, we understand its value and significance as a dress to protect ourselves from the leering eyes of wicked men and to protect the society from being provoked by our nakedness and beauty. So others also will ask, what do you say about this dress code? And are we obliged to follow them? We Muslims believe that Allah has honored us, not tied us with His glorious rule. He is our creator. We must obey His rule. That's why, in accordance with the Islamic rules, we cannot do just as we like. We only destroy ourselves and the society with us. Allah is perfect, and He bestowed upon mankind a perfect set of rules to make our lives happier if only we listen. But many still we have people who oppose, says that woman says that we should be free to dress as we like and we should look beautiful and attractive for everyone to see. So the answer is, maybe it's difficult for many Western women to understand. For us Muslims, a woman is entitled to look attractive only for her husband, not for other men. This protects the family integrity and prevent illegitimate sexual acts from spreading in the society. Other questions such as how women should cover, is it just a long skirt over the knees and a blouse not revealing, and what we should see the Islamic rule about the whole thing. Well, the term modest is a tentative one. What one considers modest might prove indecent or too modest for another. A bikini, for instance, is seen as an appropriate dress for the beach, but inappropriate and indecent at workplace. Or a member of the nudist club may consider it an over-exaggeration. For example, you always see the nudes in Japan or those in Germany. Thus, things are bound to the human rule are always subjected to cultural, environmental, and geographic differences as well as to the interests of the groups concerned. So the best law is God's law. It is not subject to variation and it has no self-interest. Allah only cares for the welfare of the entire mankind, regardless of their color, position, or nationality. Still others queries, they say, how is will protecting society? Well, the answer is women are allowed to dress in public as they like and expose their beauty in the most provocative way. They will make men to go crazy. If they are not married, they might rape women or sleep around with them. The whole society will fall to pieces. It will become a sexually motivated society, and life would be a nightmare for women as they could not move freely as men would go on a rampage. But others still say many people associate the drab covering of Muslim women with backwardness and ignorance, as said by Qasim Amin from Egypt. This is where we answer the question where many people believe, even among the Muslims themselves, that women should not be covered and should dress like the Western woman and to uncover to show progress and technology. That's where many people are much mistaken, because Qasim is referred as the leader of the Arab woman liberation. He believes that the backwardness and ignorance of Arab women was with the covering of their body. He urged women to discard their Muslim garment and to dress like Western women, and We are sorry to say that Qasim Amin is such an ignorant person. If what he says is true, then the Halls would be the most literate and progressive as they hardly cover their bodies the year round. But this is not true. We Muslim women behind our covers, we seem so drab, unattractive, are indeed highly qualified doctors, engineers, lawyers, writers, and university teachers. We are far from being backward, and on top of that, we are much appreciated and respected for our abilities without being exploited as sexual objects. In fact, Qasim Amin's wife herself was not convinced with his preaching. She not only covered her entire body, but she also covered her face. Still, there are many other questions that people insist that women in Muslim society are abused by their husbands, their fathers, and that of the society, and they have no human rights. To this we answer what referred as facts are hardly true about women in the Muslim societies. We Muslim women are respected and honored for our integrity and piety. We are not abused by our husbands. Good Muslim is supposed not to do injustice to his wife or to his family. Only bad Muslims who divert from true teachings are the ones who abuse their wife. Even those who are abused by their husband do not suffer 1/10 of the pain and miseries endured by the Western counterpart. As for the paternal abuse, we have to tell these facts that, for one, it is the duty of the father to take good care of his children, and they are prohibited from discriminating between them. And fact two, the father cannot dictate whom his daughter is to marry. He only guides her to the right man. Third, a Muslim woman inherits a part of the wealth from his parents. Fact 4, she is entitled to keep her maiden name. As you can see here, even in the United States, Hillary Clinton cannot use even her own name. So does Michelle Obama, or the present lady, that is the wife Jill Biden. So the last question here is asked by many, are you confident about yourself? And most of the people will answer that, look, we Muslim women, we are confident ourselves, we are honored, and we have all the rights for women, that is from education to inheritance to work, to marry, to study, and to our own name. And we are entitled to so many rights that have yet to be attained by either the woman in the West or the East, even in this 21st century. So we like to stress here again that the hijab, the veil, and other parts of the Islamic ruling on women in Islam is really the best and good for the woman, and in fact is also good for the society and mankind as a whole. Thank you wa jazakallahu khair.